Terrible things started happening when you walked away. So that's why I stay right here. 'Cause when all of my dreams seem so...
Hey y'all, sorry it has been so long since I posted a video. I'm gonna be honest, I've been really stressed. So yeah, this week is honestly going to be pretty bad. But on Thursday I get to go home, so I'm so excited. We have fall break here, which, my god, I'm so freaking thankful for, and we get a week off, but I'm leaving on Thursday instead of Friday because I don't have Friday classes. So after my last class I'm straight up leaving, so excited. First we have to go through a really hard week. And it's straight up gonna be bad. I have a final, a midterm, and I have 2 major assignments, so it's gonna be pretty bad. But I got ready today because of course that's a priority when you have to study for a final, is to get ready to study for it, you know. But you know, if you look good and you feel good, then you'll study better, right? So that's what I was thinking. Hey you guys, sorry I didn't make this clear, but in the title of this video I talk about studying for midterms, but in this video I'm studying for a final. But basically I'm in a 1.5 credit class, and because it's a 1.5 credit class, the final is actually in the middle of the semester, so hopefully that makes more sense. While I was walking to Eddy Street, I had a reading that I had to print out for my group project. We did our group project a few weeks ago, but I was literally reading it while I was walking to Eddy Street, which is just kind of insane, the fact that I was reading and walking at the same time, but I was so desperate because of how many readings I had to get through. I don't think I've told you guys this before, but I basically can't study in my room for 2 reasons. The first reason being I get really distracted and I will lay in my bed on TikTok because I'm like, oh, my bed's right there, it's really comfortable, let me just do nothing. And then the other reason being that a few weeks ago when I was studying for a finance exam, I was studying at the desk in my dorm, and basically a spider came out of nowhere and just sort of like fell on my desk. And obviously, if you know me, I hate bugs or just like anything related to that, let alone a spider. And I started screaming, it was so bad. And basically that was the start of a spider infestation in my room, where I saw over 10 spiders in the span of like 5 days, and it just freaked me out so bad that unless I'm like sleeping in my room, I try to limit the amount of time that I'm in my room because I'm just so scared of the spiders. As time has gone on, I've been less scared of the spiders, and I'm trying to make the spiders my B word, so yeah. Anyways, back to the work that I actually went to Starbucks to do. Basically, my whole time at Starbucks, which I don't even know how many hours I spent there, but basically I was going through all the assigned readings that he said would be on the exam. Most of the readings I had already read before because a lot of them were assigned for class, but a lot of them, like, I couldn't remember certain things, so I was going through the reading and taking notes on things that I thought were important that I might forget, just because he really didn't give us a clear direction on like what exactly would be tested. He just said these are the readings to go over, and some basic concepts like strategy will be tested, things like that. So it was kind of like me just trying to do my best.
Seems so out of reach, you're crystal clear. You don't disappear, baby. No. So why would I unfollow you when you're the only thing unhallowed me? And why would I try to hide the truth when I feel so empty without you? It's getting a little bit out of control, the way you look so good without trying it out. And this addiction isn't good for my health.
This is what my notes would look like after going through one of my assigned readings, and they are so satisfying to look at, just to like look at that and be like, yeah, I did something. And a lot of it was review, which I was thankful for. Like, I knew a lot of it, I was just going through the material, but yeah, I was just getting so annoyed during this time because I was like, it felt like it was just a mountain that kept growing, which I know sounds insane. I was thankful a lot of these readings did have graphics. Whenever I got to a page with a graphic, I'd be so happy. But to give you a little example, like, a lot
lot of my readings, when I would see 39 pages, I would be like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I would get so agitated every time I would see the number of pages that it had, just because it feels so overwhelming. But then I saw this for further reading. You think after sitting through 40 pages of reading, I want to do more reading? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? When I saw that, I was like, you're joking. And then this is me flexing my notes. To some people, it may seem dumb to write notes over readings that I've already done, but for me, whenever I read something, like, or skim it, I will read it and be like, oh, that makes complete sense. But then the next day, whenever I'm trying to remember what I read, it's harder for me to remember. So even though I've done the reading before, I'm taking notes so that instead of going through all 40 pages of the reading, I can just look to my notes to remember that very specific thing that I really can't remember. And during exams, I found that whenever I write something out a lot, it's easier for me to remember, and I can be like, oh, I remember writing that on my notes. And you guys can see the way that I do my notes, I don't do it Cornell style or something really boring. It's very much like I draw arrows, or like I'll make a little figurine thing, or I just do random configurations of the content that I need to know, so then it's easier for me to remember in my mind during the exam. I honestly think the hardest exams to study for are exams where you don't really have like practice problems or homework for this class. It's Foundations of Strategy, so he did give us some practice questions, but considering I've already taken the exam, I know that the practice questions he gave us were literally softball questions, and I'm low-key mad about it, like, not even gonna lie. Yeah, but this day was a total beatdown. Just to do something for so long, for so many hours, it kind of drove me insane. But I'm honestly not trying to beat myself up about it, just because I know that I studied really hard. That's all you can do.
Okay, y'all, just came back from Eddy Street, and I was there for, let's see, 12:30, 4 hours, and I finished a lot of my readings, but I have 3 more left. We're literally gonna grind it out today. It's gonna be a rough day. I can already tell we're probably gonna get a second coffee later tonight, but we can do it. I believe in us. I'm kind of stressed. I will be honest, like, I told myself I'm not allowed to be in my room, like, while I study, because I get very distracted. I'll, like, lay in my bed, go on TikTok, but when I'm, like, outside my room, I feel, like, a lot of peer pressure to do work, so that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, to be completely honest, I was talking to one of my friends about this last night. Whenever I, like, study for exams, I literally become a crazy person. Like, I have not talked to anyone today. Which I know was, like, kind of insane, because I'm just, like, I don't know, I get crazy when it comes to, like, studying and stuff. Another thing that kind of sucks, I just kind of want to rant about this, is how competitive Mendoza is. Me and my friend were also talking about this last night, and I just thought, like, I wanted to bring it up. Notre Dame always talks about how they really, like, have a collaborative environment, and I would say that's generally true. Like, I've gotten so much help from, like, upperclassmen, and, like, yes, your friends are always willing to help you, but in the business school, Mendoza, there is something called the Mendoza curve, and the Mendoza curve is essentially like the average GPA has to be between, I think, a 3.0 and a 3.4, which is not a very high grade, and I just think it's insane that they have that curve. It does help with classes that are really hard and the averages are, like, failing, but in classes that are, you know, not stereotypically hard, it just sort of, like, it makes you compete against everyone, which, like, when it's like that, people don't do study groups. People don't, like, collaborate when studying. It's very much all for themselves, even if, like, you're friends with them, which is just, I don't know, that's something that, like, kind of sucks about it. And it's something that, I don't know, I've never really experienced it before. Like, there are so many people here that are very, like, I don't want to, like, say anything bad, but they're very, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm just not feeling the collaboration, if you catch my drift. And I know a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, we have to compete against each other sort of to get a good grade, because the number of A's are essentially, like, limited. And let me tell you, that brings out the worst in people. Yeah, I feel like I never really hear anyone, like, talking about that, which is why I wanted to bring it up. But yeah, and I think that really adds to my stress, because the thing is, people here are smart, so it's just a bunch of smart people competing to get an A, which is very stressful. And of course, like, the bar is higher, and especially in classes that are, quote, like, stereotypically easy, the bar for an A is really high. Like, in some Mendoza classes, it's known that to get an A in the class, you need a 98, which is, it's like, literally, why do they do this? If you want to have a collaborative environment, why do you make everyone compete against each other, because it does not bring out the good in people, let me tell you. And again, it's nothing specific that's happened to me, but it's just sort of something you'll notice about people and about how they act. And it's not to say that people aren't nice, like people are nice, but I think you catch my drift. It's just people are very competitive, which is understandable. Everyone wants good grades, but I just don't know why Notre Dame does this, and Mendoza's the only college that does it. I'm sure other colleges at Notre Dame have like various curves, but we're the only one with a like Mendoza curve that's like throughout the whole college. But yeah, I just think it kind of sucks, honestly. But yeah, if you were a high schooler and you're coming to Notre Dame, that was just kind of a culture shock for me, just because in high school, like everyone I was around was very like always willing to help you. Like all my friends were so smart and they would all help me, and like I obviously would want to help them too. And coming here, like people are nice, and I would say upperclassmen especially want to help you, but I don't know, it's just, I guess it's like, obviously it's Notre Dame, so it's more competitive, but definitely a bit of a culture shock for me, which I know people are gonna say I'm dumb, because they're like, I know everyone's gonna be like, I told my parents this, and they were like, what do you expect? I'm like, yeah, just something to think about, I guess.
Heard it from a friend, she was in our bed, should've known better. Said it was the truth, she came onto you, yeah, but you let her. Knocked me over 10 feet forward. Never knew I could sleep alone good, I've never been better. You're probably out there somewhere missing me. Wish I had an ounce of sympathy. Yeah, I tell my friends that I wish.
Okay, hey you guys, I'm feeling really tired. I got my second coffee of the day, and all the coffee places closed at like, Starbucks closed at 6:45 today, and then this place is in the library, which we call it ABP here, and that closed at 7, so I went to go get that. I only have one more reading left, so that's kind of a slay. But yeah, I was gonna film myself going to get coffee, but my head was literally in the clouds. Like I don't know how I got there and got back. Like I physically cannot read anything anymore, but I have one more reading, and it's like 20 pages. I've literally read like over 100 pages easily today, probably over 150. I just want to freaking take this and kill it. So yeah.
As I was editing this video, I just wanted to make clear that I am a very dramatic person, if you couldn't tell already. So yes, I was fine. Yes, I know to some people like 150 pages of reading can be so easy and studying can be so easy for them, but I'm someone where I get easily stressed out and exams always feel so high stakes for me. So yes, I will definitely say I did over dramatize a little bit, but that is just my personality, and especially when I'm stressed out, I get even more dramatic. But I ended my day somewhere calm. We have something called the Grotto at Notre Dame, and I live so close to it, so my favorite thing whenever I'm stressed is to go to the Grotto and say a prayer, and it was a great way to end my night.